Perfect. Yeah.
Get out of my crease. All right, this video is going to be a little bit different. This isn't actually a gameplay video. This is from a open public sticks and pucks at the rink I play at usually. It's kind of a twofold reason why I wanted to do this. Number one, I got to go with my little brother James, who has been asking me to meet up with him and go do a stick and puck. So I was able to check that box, and hopefully we'll be doing that more again in the future. But also my skates. So I got these particular Bauer Supreme 7000s back in September. So it's been 2 years now from my buddy Bona Halakainen, and I never sharpened them. He had them sharpened. When he gave them to me, I just kind of dealt with it and modified them a little bit with my stone, my edging stone and stuff, and got comfortable with them. So it's been 2 years, and I've been using these as my primary skates. The goal here was I just got them sharpened by my buddy Steve. I literally, like my other skates, it's been probably 3 years since they've been sharpened. I go so far in between, I don't really know exactly how I get them sharpened. I believe it's been a 1-inch hollow every time. But let's face it, I'm a terrible skater. We all know that. If you watch my videos, you know I'm not a great skater. I'm still kind of learning and feeling things out. Now, I like a fairly dull skate. That being said, I don't know how to describe that. So anyway, Steve went ahead and put these on the machine, gave me a 1-inch hollow, did it the way we believed he did it last time. And I knew that I had an important skate coming up in a few days, which was actually a few days ago. So I figured, man, I better get out on the ice and see how these feel. I'm glad I did it. I did not feel comfortable from the moment I stepped on the ice. I wore a helmet camera. That's all I had for this one. I didn't take the ice cam just because there's too many people shooting pucks, and I don't want to damage my gear. But from the moment I stepped on the ice, I think I described it as them being too dull. Not so sure that's the right descriptive. I think what it is maybe I go with smaller than a 1-inch hollow and more dull on my edges, because the edges were actually fairly sharp, but I was standing on the ice instead of how the hollow is supposed to kind of like sink into the ice. You know, the edges are, I don't know. You guys all understand how skate sharpening works. I just feel like there was something, I did something different. So I spent some time just back and forth a little bit on the ice, small movements just to get comfort to my feet, and used my stone and tweaked it here and there. We did some shots, you know, over by the bench so I could just kind of get a feel for my balance, and then step over and tweak the skates a little bit more and so on. And then I went out into the net for, you know, there was quite a few people there, and actually a second goalie even showed up. But we got to do a bunch of shots and have some fun. And I got to, you know, break in my freshly sharpened skates and tweak them the way I wanted them. So for this, I just put together a quick kit. Really kind of a mismatch Reactor kit. Reactor 3 pads, Reactor 5 blocker, and Reactor 4 catch glove. So the kit itself ranges anywhere from 1994 to 1995 model line stuff. And because the catch glove, the 4 series, didn't come out till 1995. The pads themselves, oh, man, these things were, I'm fairly certain, completely unused when I got them a few years back, several years ago. They were customs made for Byron Penstock. And the best I can tell is these were when he was with the Brandon Wheat King. So he wore Cooper there. Had some cool pads with Cooper pads with a yellow knee logo on them. I'm betting these were made for him at the end of his time there, and he just never used them, or he didn't like them, or whatever the reason was. And I believe the story was they were left behind at a billet house. They're stiff. They're a brand new pad still. And I've noticed something that I think is maybe a little different than on other pads. So I think these are made intentionally with a much stiffer knee roll bend. They don't flex upward at all to straight. Now, the whole thing about Reactor Pads series was this like anatomical fit, but I don't ever have the same kind of problem with this reverse straight flex. I really noticed it in this skate, partially because my feet weren't 100% comfortable, and you know, I was a little nervous about going out on fresh sharpened skates and things and trying to dial that in as my ultimate goal. But man, really quickly, my legs were sore, not like tired sore, but more like just muscle sore. And so I did go back to the bench. I did two things. I was wearing my knee pads. I always wrap a little tape around my straps of my knee pads because they're always Velcro. It's vintage Velcro. Sometimes it gives loose. So I always just put one little strap of tape around each one. I went and removed that, thinking maybe I had taped them on too tightly or something. That didn't seem to help. So then I just kind of started loosening a strap here and there, one notch at a time. But either way, still, when I would stand up, this concept of not being able to straighten this pad at all with my leg. And I think that really is what I was feeling the most of. I feel like that's part of the custom build of this, because I don't ever notice that in other Reactor pads. And I've got some relatively new ones versus just worn and beat to heck ones. Then again, I could be wrong, and it might just be part of the break-in process, whereas, you know, people are always breaking their pads in this way. No one ever seems to have to worry about breaking their pads in this way. But I do think that might be part of what was going on with this. Anyway, they're beautiful pads. I absolutely loved wearing them, and I can't think of a better way to put them together than with the black and white Reactor 5 blocker and the black and white Reactor 4 glove, which, by the way, has a skate lace pocket. That's how it came to me. That's not factory. That's obviously somebody did that later. One thing about this glove, and I think it's probably the skate lace pocket, when I catch a puck, I have a real hard time like tossing it back out of the glove. A lot of times it's either stuck or just so deep in that, you know, it tends to like fall out if I shake my glove instead of being able to throw it out. Not a big deal or anything, probably a great feature. You have less pop outs that way, apparently. The helmet, I did go with an SK2000 HM30 and Cooper GTP dangler. This one in particular has the original Cooper bumpers on it. And I paired it with a super light SL stick in matching colorway with a little bit of the gray in the logo there, because I did decide I would throw on my homemade LA Kings jersey. It's just a big jersey that I made the graphic using heat transfer vinyl and put it on there because it looked about right to me. Yeah, I didn't do any modifications to that jersey that I remember. Pants were just Cooper black with white stripe, but you know, overall it looked like a great kit, and I was happy to get it out on the ice and happy really to spend that extra hour or so before my important skate on the Monday after, getting these skates figured out a little better. And it did work out. I had a good, well, let me put it this way. I felt good on my skates. I wasn't worried about the skates as much on Monday night when I had to play a little better than, boy, I shouldn't even say that. That video will be coming out soon. Anyway,
Big shot, James,
yeah,
big
this was
shot.
just an open stick and puck. A big shout out and thanks to my brother James for, you know, asking me to do this, because that was the first thing in my mind after getting these skates sharpened was, hey, I need to do that. I need to get a hold of James and meet him at the rink. He had fun. I had fun. Got to face a lot of different shots from different skill levels, and didn't stay for the whole hour and a half. I think we were there probably an hour and 10, and had to get going after that. So
Big shot,
it was a
big
good
shot.
time. Again, this is just the clips that you've been seeing and me talking about this gear. There's only camera view was the helmet cam. I did have I have one more skate after that. I'm skating tonight,
I only
and
got a couple minutes left in me,
I have
dude.
a different topic video coming out, and then hopefully regular gameplay starting in a week and a half. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you got any comments about anything I was talking about, like the situation with the pads and the customizations, the skate sharpening and all that, whatever, or the little bit of play you see, drop a comment down below. If you haven't done it yet, please hit subscribe and the bell notification icon. When I post new videos, you'll get an alert. Thanks for watching. I'm worn out already.